I'm going to preview the 1 seed UCLA versus 3 seed Duke women's basketball game, which will be played tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Time on ABC. And I apologize for looking down because I cannot memorize all this stuff. As of right now, UCLA is favored by 11.5. This game is obviously played at Golden One Center in Sacramento, California. So this is practically a home game for UCLA because look at the distance between Duke and Sacramento and compare that to UCLA to Sacramento. Honestly, this is back-to-back Elite Eights for Duke. And it's the first, obviously the second one since 2013. They're trying to go back to the Final Four for the first time since 2006, and that would be their 5th overall. Now, for UCLA, they obviously want to go back-to-back Final Fours here, and that'll be only their second one in their program history. That's what's at stake at here for this game. Obviously, I'm going to say Duke is 27-8 overall, 16-2 in the ACC. I will say, though, Duke has been playing a lot better basketball since that 3-6 start. In fact, they beat back-to-back teams that beat them earlier in the year. And Baylor at home pretty convincingly, and they had an upset win over LSU in the Sweet 16. Obviously, UCLA is 34-1 overall, 18-0 in the Big Ten, and obviously they won the Big Ten conference tournament title, and obviously same thing goes for Duke on the women's side as well. And look, UCLA has not lost a game since November 26th. Yeah, you heard me correctly. They won every game since. So somebody's first time in a while on a loss or a winning streak is going to come to an end. I'll go like players for both these squads and give keys to the game. We'll have to honestly wait and see about the injury report, but I have a hunch on what Duke is going to look like in terms of injuries. A few of those are like season-ending / redshirting types. And I'm going to say Duke is not that deep of a team. They play like 7 or 8 at the most. It's just 8. So obviously the first player to keep an eye on is Toby Fournier for Duke, number 35, 6'2" forward as a sophomore. 17.5 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, 2.3 turnovers per game, 0.9 steals per game, 2.2 blocks per game, 2.3 fouls per game, 34% on threes on 53 attempts, and 58.1% on free throws on 210 attempts. I will say, though, she's been shooting a lot better on free throws since the beginning of the year. And there's actually Ashlyn Jackson, number 3, 6-foot guard that is a senior, 11.5 points per game, 3.4 rebounds per game, 4.5 assists per game, 2.2 turnovers per game, 1.4 steals per game, 1.4 fouls per game, 31.3% on threes and 233 attempts, 81.3% on free throws on 80 attempts. There's Tiana Mayer, number 22, 5'9" guard as a senior, 11.3 points per game, 5.9 rebounds per game, 5.6 assists per game, 2.7 turnovers per game, 2.4 steals per game, 1.8 fouls per game, 34.7% on threes on 121 attempts, 86.3% on free throws on 73 attempts. There's Delaney Thomas, number 12, 6'3" forward as a junior, 11 points per game, 6.3 rebounds per game, 1.3 turnovers per game, 1.8 steals per game, 2.7 fouls per game, 0 for 1 on 3, so not really a 3-point shooting threat. 74.1% on free throws on 108 attempts. There's Riley Nelson, number 4, 6'2" guard as a sophomore, 9.3 points per game, 3.3 rebounds per game, 2 turnovers per game. First of all, 2.5 assists per game, 2 turnovers per game, 0.8 steals per game, 1.9 fouls per game, 34.1% on threes on 123 attempts, 72.9% on free throws on 59 attempts. There's Ariana Roberson, number 21, 6'4" center as a freshman, 8.3 points per game, 5.8 rebounds per game, 1.9 turnovers per game, 0.9 steals per game, 1.3 blocks per game, 2.2 fouls per game, 30.8% on threes on 52 attempts, 59.7% on free throws on 62 attempts. There's Jordan Wood, number 13, 6'4" inch forward as a junior, 4.9 points per game, 3.2 rebounds per game, 1.1 turnovers per game, 1.2 blocks per game, 1.4 fouls per game, 37.7% on threes on 77 attempts, 75% on free throws, but that's on 28 attempts. And really, the last player going to go for Duke is like Anna Wickstrom, just in case she does play. I don't know. Number 25, 5'11" inch guard as a freshman, 1.3 points per game, 0.7 turnovers per game, 0.7 fouls per game, 27.3% on threes on 11 attempts, 2 for 5 on free throws, aka 40%. It does really quick. I know. And it's not like UCLA. UCLA can play more players, obviously. They're healthier squad than Duke is. I'm just being truthful because look at the amount of available players for Duke for this year. They only have like 10. And they only play like 7 or 8. So what are some players to keep it on for UCLA? Obviously, Lauren Betts, number 51, 6'7" inch. 6'7" inch center as a senior, 17.1 points per game, 8.6 rebounds per game, 3.2 assists per game, 2.3 turnovers per game, 1.1 steals per game, 1.9 fouls per game, 1.9 blocks per game, 1.7 fouls per game, 0 for 2 on threes, 2/3 on free throws on 108 attempts, to be honest. There's Kiki Rice, number 1, 5'11" inch guard as a senior, 15.4 points per game, 5.8 rebounds per game, 4.4 assists per game, 1.6 turnovers per game, 1.5 steals per game, 1.7 fouls per game, 38.4% on threes on 86 attempts, 90.7% on free throws on 150 attempts. There's Gabriela Jaquez, number 11, 6-foot guard as a senior, 13.5 points per game, 5.4 rebounds per game, 2 assists per game, 1.7 turnovers per game, 1.2 steals per game, 1.9 fouls per game, 31.1% on threes on 115 attempts, 85.3% on free throws on 102 attempts. There's Gianna Neekins, number 8, 6-foot guard as a senior, 13 points per game, 3.2 rebounds per game, 3 assists per game, 1.1 turnovers per game, 1.1 steals per game, 1.8 fouls per game, 43.3% on threes on 187 attempts, and 93% on free throws on 43 attempts. There's Angela Dugalit, number 32, 6'4" inch forward as a senior, 8.9 points per game, 5.6 rebounds per game, 2 assists per game, 1.8 turnovers per game, 1.1 steals per game, just 0.6 blocks per game, 2 fouls per game, 34.1% on threes on 82 attempts, 75.5% on free throws on 49 attempts. And there's obviously Charlize Legger Walker, and her number is 5, and just for whatever reason the height. I know she is a senior. I know that. Okay, 5'10" inch, according to the UCLA website. So I have to go based on that website because it didn't show on ESPN. 8.7 points per game. 4 rebounds per game. 5.7 assists per game. 2.1 turnovers per game. 1.6 steals per game. 1.7 fouls per game. 36.2% on threes on 130 attempts. 64.9% on free throws on 37 attempts. Might as well go over Sienna Betts, number 16, 6'4" inch forward as a freshman, 6.6 points per game, 4.3 rebounds per game, 1.2 turnovers per game, 0.6 steals per game, 1.8 fouls per game, 11.1% on threes, but that's on 9 attempts, 51.2% on free throws on 41 attempts. Okay, there's Lena Billick, number 9, 6'3" inch. They call her a guard on ESPN app, by the way. That is a freshman. 3.2 points per game, 1.1 fouls per game, 27.8% on threes on 72 attempts, made all 3 free throws this year. aka 100%. I don't need to go over every single player, but I'll just go like one more, honestly. That's Amanda Muse. Number 33, 6'4" forward as a sophomore, 1.3 points per game, 1 foul per game, 9 for 18 on free throws, aka 50%. Obviously, whatever you did right last game, you got to bring in this game. Whatever you did wrong last game, you got to correct, or else it might cost you in terms of a Final Four appearance. And you got to do this for your seniors, especially on the UCLA side of things. Not to say Duke doesn't have any urgency as well, because they have a few seniors that will play. But when you look at the amount of seniors for UCLA playing this year, yeah, they want to go back to a Final Four. For some of those, like I know Gian Nicholson has never been to a Final Four, ever. So she wants to get there. You got to hustle the other team. And I know might be some questionable calls, but at the very end of the day, you got to make plays to win. You got to make adjustments on the fly, both offensively and defensively. Not just from first half to second half, but during those halves. You got to keep good composure, stay poised. Obviously, you do not want to have a flagrant foul or a technical foul. I'm just saying. You need to try to find a way to get your fans involved in the game while taking away the opposing fans as much as you can. Now, defensively, you got to contain the shooters, contain the slashers. You got to limit the points in the paint some. You got to limit the points out turnovers because you know that's a difference in the game. And you got to get some defensive rebounds and limit those offensive boards because that gives them less opportunities to get second chance points, which we all know that can be a difference in the game sometimes. And you do not want to let the opposing team live at the free throw line because they might want to make you pay for fouling you too much in general in terms of free throws. You got to obviously slow down the best players as much as you can and limit those role players because you don't want those role players to go off and be the unsung heroes. You got to force some turnovers in general. You know sometimes the best offense comes from the defense, and speaking on offense, you got to get some points on turnovers. Obviously get some points in the paint, like whether it's a pick and roll or straight up post up or drive to the basket. Doesn't matter. Obviously, if you get to the free throw line, you got to make your free throws count. You got to get some transition points. Because you know it's a lot easier playing in transition than in half court. You got to get some offensive rebounds so you can get some second chance points. Obviously, you got to take care of the ball because the last thing you want to do is turn the ball over and give the other team extra possessions. And I'm going to speak this to Duke here. I think you got away with playing in the 80s with LSU. I don't know if you're going to be able to get away with that if you play UCLA. UCLA is a different animal compared to LSU. I'm just being honest. So I think you need to have this game lower scoring, like in the 70s at least. I mean, no higher than the 70s, in my opinion. I'm just saying. And honestly, if you're UCLA, you cannot overlook this Duke team. They have played a lot better since that 3-6 start. And I'm sure they know that. So we're going to have to honestly wait and see what happens in this type of game. I thought Duke had a chance last game against LSU. I just don't know about this one. Maybe they have a small chance. And another thing, too, you got to have your best players step up in this type of game while your role players need to step up because they could very well be the unsung heroes to make it further in the NCAA tournament. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like, subscribe, and see you guys later on the road to 800 subscribers. Of course, ultimate goal is to add some more. Some of my money, of course, like video, comment video really helps YouTube background. Some more suggestion, the video does help as well. Some more people could watch it if you're watching. And not subscribe, hit subscribe, and notification bell as well. And you got to have good shot selection on offense as well. You don't want to just force up bad shots when you don't have to.